106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Welcome to the Goddamn Podcast with Drew and TJ. Let's get this goddamn thing started.
Oh, God. I hate to do this to you guys. I really do. Glenn Beck.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, now I'm going to show a few clips, and this is all building up to something. So we won't say too much during the clips. We'll just comment, I guess, after them for a short bit. But it's all building up to something, of course.
Okay.
That's the direction we always head. So let's start off with this one.
You want to talk about racism? You want to talk about bigotry? Let me ask you. You tried being me? You tried being a conservative? You tried being a Tea Party member? You tried being an actor that has to meet in secret because of their political or religious beliefs. So people like you don't blackball him. Did I just say blackball? Yes, I did. Have you ever thought about being some of those actors that are afraid to say things around you because of the power that you and people like you wield?
I gotta jump in at that point. He's literally complaining that he's got too much power to yield. He's like, I'm wielding all this power, and it's so difficult because people won't open up to me. And he's like, do you know how it feels? Does Glenn Beck know how it feels to be like a gay person? Like that has to that chooses to deal with all the stigma that goes with fucking, being homosexual in today's society and dealing with people like him. Does he know what it's like to be an atheist? To be the least trusted. I mean, this is such utter bullshit. But he's such a victim card 24/7. But he's a victim while God gives him like prophecy to shit.
Oh, and he's always right about that prophecy too.
Never wrong. We'll prove that later. But let's try and finish this one up.
Let me ask you that. Well, you can't change the color of your skin. I can't change what I believe. I believe in God the Almighty. I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's nothing that I can do to change that.
God damn it, I gotta jump in again. How is there nothing you can do to change what you believe? You expect to convert people, right? Christianity expects to convert people. They expect them to change what they believe constantly. I don't...
Well, my thing is, it's usually people like this that are like, well, why don't you believe? Why don't you believe? Oh. Okay, we legitimately don't believe.
Can you do?
Right, you don't have that right?
You got to turn down your mic on Skype.
Oh, is it too much?
It's clipping.
Let me mess with it.
Just be like, I hate to do this right then.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay.
Let everyone else decide.
Is it still better? Still good?
On my end, it was clipping, so I don't know how it was for everyone else. Yes, all right. So I'm sorry. We are constantly trying to improve the show, which includes new gear, which we don't really test out until the show is going. So sorry, you'll have to deal with this occasionally, but it's all for the improvement of the show. Continue, please, about how Glenn Beck. You were supporting Glenn Beck, right? You were talking about how he truly is the victim in this situation.
I was saying that the way he uses that, like, I don't have a choice. I believe in the God of Abraham. Okay, we don't. But do you ever notice that it's almost like a double standard there about us?
I've never. I for one have never noticed a double standard with people like Glenn Beck and conservative Republicans. I've never once noticed a double standard. They're truly logical people, and it's really difficult to point out their flaws.
Absolutely.
That's just me. As far as I'm concerned, Glenn Beck is the highest of the hanging fruit.
That's pretty sad. When Glenn Beck is the high-hanging fruit.
You know, let's try and finish this one. There's more to go through.
I sometimes, believe me, I don't want to believe that. It's not fun all the time. It's not easy all the time. It doesn't make you popular all the time. I can't change it. It is who I am. It's to the very fiber of my being. That's who I am.
But he's totally unaccepting of like gay people or whatever. He's like, I can't change who I am. He's like, you think I like being me, Glenn Beck? I think you do. I think you like being Glenn Beck. I don't think gay people necessarily like being discriminated against and being told that they chose to be in the discriminated minority. Like someone, like it's like so like you choose to be an atheist. No, you just come to a level of realization where you're like, I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm not gonna say I believe this shit when I don't. I mean that's where I'm at. I still find moments where I doubt evolution. But that's what being a skeptic is. That's what being like an open-minded, like I still doubt my own fucking like beliefs as it goes with science and everything, and I'm constantly trying to like, yeah, what?
TJ, are you telling me you're backsliding from atheism?
No, I'm saying that what happens is I strengthen my atheism in a similar way that someone, a religious person would say, I'm strengthening my faith when someone makes an argument against me and I read through the Bible and find a passage that supports my argument. They would say, I'm strengthening my faith. Well, I guess I'm kind of doing the same fucking thing, but it's in the actual pursuit of truth, not just what I want to be true or have been told to be true. And that's why I don't just take anything. If there's a decent argument against evolution, like the first time someone told me about like the what do they fucking call it?
Flagellum?
Yeah, with the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. I was like, that is now that to me is not a good argument in like for Christianity. You know what I mean? Or for any religion really. But it is a good argument for intelligent design. And I was like, okay, so you know, you dig a little deeper and you find out that it's not nearly as like they make it so cut and dry to get to their point. And it's so much more complex than that. And you end up doing, I mean, like hours and hours of research or reading on shit. And I find it interesting. So that lucky me. Like I enjoy Michael Crichton's books. And if anyone, he wrote Jurassic Park and and a few other awesome like Congo but the books are always better. And he writes in such a technical way. And I feel like I can just follow it. And not only that, but he gets into the science. And actually, one of his books brought up a lot of controversy. I believe it was State of Fear, was like basically calling global warming like an alarmist thing, which I disagree with him for. But like a lot of like Megadeth, what's his fucking name?
Dave Mustaine?
Yeah, I disagree with him on a lot of things, but it doesn't mean I can't enjoy his music. And just like I disagreed with the point he was trying to make in that one book, I enjoyed pretty much every other book, and I enjoyed that book. It's not like I'm so close-minded that I just want to hear what I want to hear. That's the point. Yeah. And we, during all of my shows and videos, I'm pretty much responding to people who have the opposite opinion. So I don't feel like we can be accused of not exposing ourselves to their arguments fully. Because, I mean, that's pretty much all I do. We're exposing ourselves, and their arguments are shit. Right here, we've got Glenn Beck saying...
it's hard to be a Christian in America.
Oh, god damn, it's so tough being Glenn Beck. Look at this motherfucker. And does that shoulder... I think that vest has shoulder pads. I fucking think that vest has shoulder pads. I'm pretty sure. It's almost over. Let's just get it over with.
Do you think I want to be a pariah? Do you think those people who work on the same sound stages as you don't want to be popular? You think they want to meet in secret? I've met with some of them. I've been to some of their secret meetings, the Friends of Abe. Some of them are terrified of people like you. Don't tell me about your problems, Samuel L. Jackson, with all of your leading roles. Shut the hell up.
I guess this was the response to Samuel L. Jackson.
And it's funny because you never would have thought that from
Yeah,
the beginning.
like
It's all the way down. Fuck you, Samuel
I
L.
mean,
Jackson.
I guess he's addressing the larger argument, similar to we're addressing the larger argument here with Glenn Beck and calling him out directly. But I'm tired of all these motherfucking right-wingers in my motherfucking America. Next.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Next, of course, we have Glenn Beck making, some really
Solid arguments.
solid. That's what I was trying to say. Like, here is where I start totally. I'm like, Glenn Beck might really know what the hell he's talking about. So let's hear what he's talking about.
I'm interested in moving forward. I'm interested in moving to common sense. I'm interested in moving in a direction of freedom. And so when it comes to these measles vaccinations, we have a lot in common with the left. And we can't separate ourselves. We have to reach out to allies that say, okay, I disagree with you on many things. On this, let's agree. Let's move forward on this. None of us want measles. None of us want our children to have measles. None of us want to have an outbreak in our communities. Nobody wants anybody to die from measles. Nobody. So let's just have that as a baseline. Nobody does.
Right.
However, we also don't know what's going on with autism. We don't know what is happening to our children and to our families. Also, if you look at what the numbers were for autism 25 years ago to what they are now, and now they're saying it's
there's something going on.
There's some.
Okay, so first of all, the reason he's going to agree with the left is over the anti-vaxxer shit. That's where he's going to agree with the left. And then the motherfucker goes on to say, like, this is the same. He's like, oh, an autopsy. We don't know, or autopsy. Sorry, autism. It's same thing. But autism, like, we don't know where that's coming from. But they're the same people that make the argument that they're just making up this ADHD shit, and they like, kids having those kind of stuff. They're like, oh, they're just over-diagnosing kids and shit. But with autism, they're like, no, this is a real thing, and it's from keeping kids from getting sick, because that's the plan. Keep them from getting sick by making them sick. Genius. Fucking genius. Because obviously the vaccines work. They have to know the vaccines fucking work. So what's the idea here? That like, oh, we're gonna put out a vaccine that like keeps a bunch of kids healthy, but then fucks up a small handful, and that's the plan. That's the master plan, and the goal is what? I just don't understand the anti-vax, like what they think the goal of the government is to get them like, oh, we're gonna pin you down by keeping your kids from getting measles.
The thing that threw me off is the entire first half. I was like, wow, this seems like it makes a lot of sense. I'm guessing that's kind of where you were too.
Well, I mean, when he's like, there's certain things that you have to agree with the other side on, and there are certain things that you can agree, for example, the right wing, like, I agree they should, we should cut all kinds of funding. I just disagree that it should be social programs, and I think it should be like the military. You understand? There's like differences there. And he's agreeing with the leftists, but only when they are anti-vaxxers, because he's, okay, we got the point on this one, right? He's a fucking anti-vaxxer, right? So let's drive the point home with this totally awkward fucking clip that deals with that, and his crew responding to him.
I found this phenomenal. Wealthy LA schools, the wealthiest Beverly Hills areas, now have vaccination rates that are as low as South Sudan's, because the parents there are opting out of vaccinating their children because it's not natural. It could, they fear autism, they fear eczema.
Seborrhea, psoriasis.
But they're having a big uptick in whooping cough and all these diseases.
I'm torn.
Why are you applauding?
I'm torn.
I mean, halfway just to piss you off. But the other half is, I think that there is a lot to be said for this vaccination crap. It is. I have no idea.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know.
You don't believe in vaccinating?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said I think there's a lot to be said for
saving lives,
being cautious,
being cautious on what we're jamming into our children's arms.
So even here, his crew is like, what? They're like, are you against vaccinating kids for shit? Because they're making the point like, oh, look at these like liberal fucking rich people that won't vaccinate their kids because it's not natural. And Glenn Beck's like standing ovation.
Yeah.
And then the weird thing about like, she's like, why are you applauding? He's like, halfway to piss you off. What? He's just such a weird fuck. I have no problem believing that, like, if you said people wear magic underwear, I'm like, shut the fuck up. And then you told me, no, this guy wears magic underwear. And I'm like, I believe you. No doubt that motherfucker wears, like, magic fucking underwear. He's just fucking insane. It's like a beautiful mind without the beautiful part or the mind part.
It's just one big acid trip.
Yeah, exactly. Let me hear from you.
Yeah. I'm curious because I know there is a I don't know how much it is on the left that is anti-vaxxer. Those people that are against the vaccines and shit like that.
There are a few.
That's very true.
There are a few. There are left wingers, quote unquote, that support the Iraq War and shit. Like there's all kinds.
And 9/11 truthers.
Well, that's one of the things about being a liberal is that it's like herding cats, like atheists. Like we might agree on some humanistic basic things, and they label us as the left and liberal, as you know, for those reasons. But we still disagree on a shitload of things. There are conservative atheists. I mean, that's right there is proof that you can't just tie one thing to another. And they try to do that constantly. And even his own crew here, we'll continue this video. They're like, what? And his explanations are just fucking so whack. But keep in mind, this is we're only building up to the grand fucking finale of Glenn Beck. And this is fucking gets only more ridiculous.
By law, all the time.
Right.
Okay.
I'll go for. I got it. We eradicated smallpox. We got it. But there's a lot of stuff. I gave my kids the vaccination. But there's a lot of stuff that we don't know what we're dealing with. I mean, doctors are so arrogant, and I speak with a little bit of experience here. They will pump you full of stuff and say, "Oh no, this is," when a lot of times. The GMO, the food, the poisons in our own food, just to keep it all, hey, it's fresh, it's new, used by 2017.
It looks beautiful.
Looks great. All of that stuff, plus all of the medication.
Did they seriously just edit in the text on top of his fucking hands?
They're trying to make it as easy for Beck followers to keep up with as possible.
He went from anti-vaxxer to now GMO, like, oh my god. And if this I can goddamn guarantee you that if Glenn Beck went to like fucking Chili's and the broccoli was wilted, he'd be like, what is this shit? You know, he'd expect some nice GMO shit to be right on his fucking plate. Yep. This dumb motherfucker. Jesus, but he thinks, look at him. He really thinks he's got it all fucking figured out. And then all these fucking people are sitting next to him, and he makes a fool of himself, doing like some standing ovation, dropping the script on the floor shit. And they're all like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You can see the doubt in their faces, and then they're like, no, wait. My paycheck comes from this bullshit.
Oh yeah, better play along. Sometimes I wonder if Glenn Beck is just completely fucking retarded, or if he's just really bad at expressing a good idea. And by that I mean really fucking bad.
Dude, like the chalkboard thing.
Yeah, the chalkboard conspiracies.
Dude,
somehow the Nazis and Stalin are just like involved in everything.
Dude, Pol Pot and fucking like Jeffrey Dahmer knew Bill Clinton's daughter, therefore fucking liberal conspiracy, like weird shit. All right, we've all got the point here that he's a complete fucking loon. I can move on
I
from
hope
this.
so.
Jesus Christ, this is all right. Let's see. Now, Glenn Beck's predictions. I'm going to show you him making a prediction here. I'm pretty sure this is the same prediction he's been making for a while, but it must be because it's going to come true.
I told you last year, I kept hearing, and so it begins. Let me take this down to a more base level. I believe the Charlie Hebdo incident is more of this. When I say, and so it begins, what I meant was, oh my gosh, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's starting. Look at this piece is going to grow, and that piece is going to grow. What happened in France, if you are standing at a starting line and you're going to be in a race, you will always hear, ready, set, bang. I believe that last year was the ready. I believe the Charlie Hebdo was the set. And I think the go.
I just got to point out that the Charlie Hebdo like incident was the set part of this, not the bang. Not the bang part, but the set part. What does it take to be the bang part?
I'm assuming that just the very next thing that happens, because they can keep saying that until like another 9/11 happens.
Wait. Maybe you have a decent prediction about what Glenn Beck is going to say. You haven't seen this, right?
Right.
So you've not. So let's hear what the bang part is. What your prediction of Glenn Beck's bang is.
My prediction of what the actual bang is?
No, what he's going to say the bang is. Because he's predicting the future. So I want you to predict what Glenn Beck says. You haven't seen his video, so I want you to predict what Glenn Beck is thinking the bang part of this. Charlie Hebdo was the set. So what's the bang?
I have nothing. I have no idea.
Are you serious? Come on, man. It's got to be.
Is coming, and it's coming soon. And if you believe that you can stand around and just not be plugged into what the world is doing, and pay attention to what's going on, and be disconnected from your faith and your principles, when that starting gun fires, and it's going to fire soon, it's going to be too late. I warn you, and I beg you with everything in me to hear me. Please hear me. The world is on the precipice of fascism, communism, anarchy, and theological nightmares.
So you could have easily guessed that.
Yeah. Okay.
Communism, anarchism.
I thought it was going to have something to do directly with Islam, is what I was thinking.
No, it's because of Charlie Hebdo. That was the set to the bang, which is communism, because that's what Islam and everything, it's just, it's the direction we're going. It's complete fascism.
But which also somehow a mixture of communism and anarchy.
Yeah.
Which are two
totally opposing ideas, but he's going to just mix them in. And guess what? His audience is dumb enough to be like,
because it's buzzwords.
Look at this dumb shit with a sweater vest on. I like him.
That's what they do, man. That's what his whole show on Fox was about. But the chalkboard conspiracies with the fucking hammer and sickle and the swastika and shit.
How is that the bang to the Charlie Hebdo shit being the set? I don't see how it can get any more bang than the Charlie Hebdo shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Ready, set, bang. Like, it would be ready, like, we like free speech. Set, we drew a cartoon. Bang, they reacted. That's like ready, set, bang. This guy's like, ready, they want free speech. Set, Charlie Hebdo, bang, communism, anarchism. Like, it's in complete fucking insanity. He's got those dead, dumb eyes. You can just tell. Oh, God. All right. Done with that video. We have to continue. So, here I'm going to show you how Glenn Beck accurately predicts the future. All right?
Oh, awesome.
So I came in early this morning and I took the chalkboard out and I wrote 3 categories: Obama, Russia, North Korea / Sony, and look at the. I just have some questions on these things, and then at the bottom I wrote what I think is coming: Russia, chaos, expansion into the Ukraine and beyond, war with the West, war in the Middle East, Syria, Iran. Possibly North Korea is involved in that. I'm not sure, but that's all with Russia. UK and Europe, chaos, Muslim extremists, Nazis, communists, and anarchists. Middle East, caliphate, true horror like we have not seen, like in what we saw this week in Pakistan. I think it'll bleed into India and also places like Australia. You're going to start to see the Middle East, this chaos spreading in the Middle East down all the way through
What's that part by the Middle East?
Case in point, that is exactly what I was talking about, man. It's all fucking buzzwords. He does it the same, dude, every time.
Look at
He can't just say one at a time. He has to throw the whole sling of them together, no matter if they contradict each other or not.
Next time he shows the chalkboard, look at the fucking chalkboard. It's like chaos, 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 communism, chaos, caliphate, chaos. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Look at this shit. Hold on.
Yeah, freeze frame it on that.
Pan-Asian area. Then South America, communists, hyperinflation.
Hold on, no. I want to get, like, I'm going to have to go a little bit back. I'm sorry. There we go. Russia, chaos. UK, Europe, chaos. Middle East, caliphate. USA, chaos. South America, communism. Like, what the that's some real, like, some shit he thought out real hard about. He's like, chaos, 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 communism, caliphate. C. He says in the USA there's going to be race riots.
And banking chaos.
Politician chaos, banking chaos. Oh my, the guy. All right, so he's obviously accurately predicting shit, right? We can all agree on that.
Of course.
So, all right. So I would like to show a video that I myself made a while back. I'm not going to show the whole thing, just the first couple minutes. But this is a video I made where Glenn Beck totally accurately predicts a bunch of shit, such as this. Oh, yeah.
The similarities of what is being done right now to the beginning of our country. We are repeating, and we're at the very beginning of it, but we are repeating all of the steps that it took for us to be free in around the time of the Declaration of Independence. Don't you think?
I agree.
It's starting to happen.
And I look at the Tea Parties, I look at other, even churches, and it's like the committees of correspondence. What we're doing with transmitting information through social media, etc. I was just talking to some of the guys on the ground this morning in 6 of the battleground states, and they say hands down that on our side, social conservatives and Tea Party folks, our technology is so much better than what Obama has. The media keeps saying how great his technology is. What we've been able to do with micro-targeting, what we've been able to do with voter ID and registration turnout, it is so much more sophisticated than what they're doing on their side. And that's exactly what was going on in the first and second Great Awakenings. Everybody underestimated how organized and how dedicated small groups could be, and that's exactly where we are now.
So what is your prediction?
I predict that tomorrow night is not going to go nearly as long as everybody thinks it will. I don't think it's going to be nearly as tight. We'll certainly know within the first couple hours.
Just give me an electoral college number for Romney. Ballpark it.
270 to win, and I think it's easy over that. I think it could be 320, 330.
I agree.
Right on the money.
He will be anywhere from 3 to 6 points ahead in Iowa. When that comes back, that count, it'll be 3 to 6 points ahead.
And you kind of wanted to run these numbers that, let's say this does happen. I mean, it's not a guarantee by any means, but, if the activists turn out, if people who listen to this show, who participate with Freedom Works, churches really come out and show up to vote, and they're able to swing these things 6 points, for example, to use Wisconsin as example, what happens? Well, states like Florida that are swing states and Virginia that are really close go to Romney right away. The Colorados of the world and New Hampshire and Iowa all will move to Romney in that situation. Wisconsin is close enough to move in that situation. Ohio
Wisconsin
is as
becomes tied, right?
No, Wisconsin would move all the way into
Romney?
Into the Romney category.
I think there's a chance of that. I do think there's a chance of that. If they're tied now, I believe that's not an accurate snapshot. I believe if they're tied now, it means they're winning by 3 to 6 points.
Now, I will say that the Wisconsin poll we're talking about is a Rasmussen poll. Has them tied at 49-49. Other pollsters disagree and still see there's a lead that's not major, but a small lead for Obama. So we should at least factor that in. But you're talking about a 6-point swing. If this really comes into that sort of level, you're talking about Pennsylvania and Nevada also switching.
Nice.
And you're going to get into the area of 321 electoral votes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, what was it, 321 points?
321 to 217.
Electoral votes?
Yeah. In that scenario.
Wow, that'd be great.
Which would be a mandate.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be a
huge.
giant spanking.
That's huge.
Indeed. That was one of Glenn Beck's most accurate predictions, of course.
And he's always right.
He's like, oh, I agree, man. I really think that Romney's just going to spank the shit out of Obama and not the other way around. It's not going to go nearly as long as everyone thinks, said David Barton. Yeah, you're right. You were both totally right. Someone got spanked. It was a mandate, all that shit. Just totally against your la-la fairyland bullshit. Oh my God!
That was such a great moment. That Obama re-election was so good, dude. All the stuff that happened on Fox, oh, dude, it was just great. Bill O'Reilly blaming it on, what was it? The social norms have changed.
No.
The white culture.
People want things. They want stuff. All right, that's why you vote for Obama, because you want things. I'm still waiting for my Obama phone. Damn it. It's been years now. Damn it! Where the hell is my Obama phone? I'm still waiting for my Obama watch too. I don't have that yet.
Yeah. Well, the asshole's supposed to be paying for our rent and our gas.
He's the worst motherfucker ever. He's like, one big ass mistake, America. You see that all over the place. All right. So all this was building up to this clip, because this clip is all I really wanted to cover, but I had to build up to it. There has to be a build up. So I want you to enjoy. You know those people that are like, your tears taste so beautiful. This is exactly that case. Enjoy.
How do we wake up our own families? We are living in the 1930s all over again. One of those things that I know God told me, you decide who your family is. You decide who your family is going to be, so when they do come for people, you decide now, am I going to turn my eyes from it, or will I say, you take him, you take me too? That seemed insane 8 years ago. Insane. We used to joke, Tiffany Siegel, she's my executive producer on this program, and she runs all the Glenn.
All right. It's really fun to watch him cry, but can anyone follow him at all? And to make my point of how difficult it is to follow Glenn fucking Beck with his crazy ass fucking reasoning, I'm going to start this video from the beginning again. Alright? You get to watch the crying again, but try to actually listen. And I want you, Drew, to give a well thought out response to Glenn Beck's point here. Alright? So, pay attention.
How do we wake up our own families? We are living in the 1930s all over again. One of those things that I know God told me, you decide who your family is. You decide who your family is going to be, so when they do come for people, you decide now, am I going to turn my eyes from it, or will I say, you take him, you take me too?
What?
That seemed insane 8 years ago. Insane. We used to joke, Tiffany Siegel, she's my executive producer on this program, and she runs all the Glenn Beck programs and everything else. And 8 years ago, we used to sit in the office and we would talk about things to come, and it was almost half a joke. Look, they come for the Christians first, you hide me. They come for the Jews, I hide you. Okay? If they come for both of us, run like hell. But it used to be kind of that joke. In the last few weeks, unspoken, I believe we have looked at each other, and she has said to me, it's really getting scary.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Keep in mind, she didn't look at him and say, it's getting scary. He said he looked at her in the eyes and felt that the message she was giving him was, this is getting scary. How many fucking Nazi references can you fucking make about the U.S. fucking government? He complains about people like, oh, they're discriminating against my religion when we want to push our shit everywhere. Also, when they disagree with me, they're Nazis. Like, do you not see the disconnect there?
Yeah, and not just that, but they are literally going to be coming and getting you, and you will have the option. Who are your friends? Who are you going to turn over? You going to let them take your brother? Are you going to let them do that?
Dude,
they're coming,
it's a weird fucking argument. He's like, it just goes all over the fucking place. He's like, God told me that you choose who your family, if you're gonna follow them, or if they take the Jews or the Christians. It's just like, what the fuck? How? Okay, I gotta go back and freeze frame again. Tearful guy in the fucking audience. That's a motherfucking guy crying about Glenn fucking Beck telling a fucking story that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's more scary than Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck is scary. Oh, yeah. It's like, do you know who Gorilla 199 is? He's an insane YouTuber. Okay, insane. He's scary. But having someone like watching him and like crying while this guy tells his insane tales, like they paid money.
To get into his little studio.
Yeah, they wouldn't just let anybody in there, otherwise they'd end up with people like me and you. And we'd be laughing too hard.
Yeah, that's what the whole audience would be what they wanted to show.
This
Look at that clip you have right there. There's 4 people that you can kind of read their facial expressions. All of them are super into what he's saying. The dude in the back is just bawling his fucking eyes out.
All of them are white. The lady in the back looks like her wig is all kinds of fucked up. The redhead.
They're just like so entranced.
I got $20, says the lady in the background is not a redhead. or if she was a redhead, but is no longer. She's a whitehead, but nobody likes whiteheads. Oh my god! All right, we gotta. I'm gonna skip back to where we were before.
I believe we have looked at each other, and she has said to me, it's really getting scary.
I believe we have looked at each other, and she has said, it's getting scary. I believe I've made some deep contact with Glenn Beck, and I agree. It is indeed scary. Scary as a motherfucker. This dude is scary. Look at him with his hand in his back pocket. What the fuck is that about? You trying to look all like, I'm just down folks' homes. You talking to all, like, how many how many black people in the crowd? I'm trying to count them all. Trying to count all the black people in that crowd.
Awful lot of honkies in that crowd.
Damn, man, it's gonna take me a while to count them all.
I don't know, probably the guy behind the camera or something.
Fucking thug life. All right.
Hey, what is the? Because I'm assuming you've seen a lot of this video clip. What's the significance of the 1791? What was his gimmick? Is that something to do specifically with what he's talking about here? Because his hat says
I gotta be honest. It's probably just his new fucking gimmick. Remember, it was he had like a 912 thing. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like 9 more, and then he totally dropped that once he sold it out. And he's probably picking it the 912, 1792, fucking just a bunch of numbers, and we'll sell it to these dipshits in the audience. That's pretty much what it is.
Sounds old school America.
All right, we got to finish this off, and then we'll take a quick break.
It's cool.
She's Jewish. They'll come for her first. It is getting scary. I promise you, we are living in the 1930s, and it's going to sweep the entire globe. Pray for your family to wake up. Pray for you to be strong enough to stand. Just go home with honor. Just go home with honor.
Just go home with honor. Complete fucking lunacy. God damn it, it pisses me off to fucking have to deal with fucking a world full of these idiots.
Yeah.
People that they really think they got it all figured out. The moment that you say that you're against any kind of Republican idea, I've had people that I've known for a long time. I knew this really rich dude drove a brand new 7 Series BMW. All right, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, we're talking about like a fucking $60,000-$70,000 car.
Right.
All right. Constantly complained wasn't good enough, and was always telling me I'm gonna give it to you, and I kept telling him I couldn't even afford the oil changes, bro. What do you want me to do with that thing? I'm not gonna be able to afford that thing. And we got into a conversation one time, and I disagreed with like some Republican point that he made, and he's like, "Oh, you just love Obama." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "I hate Obama." He's like, "Oh, really? Tell me why." And it was for this totally different reasons than him, but only because Obama's not as left-wing as they try and fucking make him out to be. It's pathetic. It's pathetic how they try and make him out to look like this like far-left liberal Kenyan without a birth certificate. Like, we all know that you have no real fucking argument when you did the birth certificate thing. We all know that you're full of fucking shit, and you should shut the fuck up about anything until you fucking educate yourselves more than just fucking listening to goddamn Glenn Beck.
Somebody in the chat got it spot on. They said this is Jesus camp for adults.
Jesus camp for people with money, real money. That's what it is. Because no one in this audience paid less than like $500 to be there. Guaranteed. There's not a seat in that little audience that they didn't fucking charge the fuck out of to listen to this insanity and cry along with him. Jesus, at least that motherfucker got his money's worth because he's that fucking stupid.
One of the things that I don't understand, even in the kind of mind of a person who would watch Glenn Beck, let alone pay probably $500 to $1,000 to go see him face to face, the thing I don't understand is how you can possibly hold some of those ideas like Christians are persecuted until they start like mass closing down churches that outnumber fast food joints in America, or until they start rounding up Glenn Beck and Alex Jones and throwing them in prison for saying shit. Then you really don't have an argument. It's like they say all the time, "Oh, Obama's a dictator, rules like a king." If he ruled like a fucking king, you would not be on air.
No, you're not getting it, bro. You're not getting it. First, they came for the bankers. And then they came for the fucking Wall Street traders. And then they came for the Mormons. And then, you know, it's just all fucking fairy tale la-la bullshit. Anyway, that was the grand fucking finale, because this guy is fucking nuts, and I wanted to show him crying yet again. He's cried so many times about the stupidest shit, and it's honestly just a ploy, and it fucking obviously works, because he manages to bring other people to tears with it, which... I mean, honestly, I was brought to tears. Thank God we're both wearing sunglasses, because otherwise we'd both be embarrassed with the tears that are just streaming down our face right now.
Also, I want to congratulate you on something, TJ. For some reason, you just have a real gift at freeze framing the clip at just the right spot. You get the most ridiculous fucking faces out of people.